You ever have one of those weeks where everything just feels like absolute pure chaos and you're just trying to get through it? Let's talk about it. So I am waiting to pick up the kiddos, and today is not my usual pickup day. And the last few days, the last week has not been a typical week. And I am tired and just kind of drained. And I keep thinking about how it would be such a normal, plausible, reasonable excuse to not do certain things and to be, less disciplined about, movement and eating and all of those things. And we had the ultimate upset last night. Our dog had a seizure and it was scary. I was out walking him and it was the first time I've ever seen that before. It's the first time that we know he's had one. And it was terrifying and scary and made me very sad. And my husband and I did not sleep very much last night, just because we were watching him and checking him, and he's been fine. He's gonna go to the vet today, but we don't really know what happened or what the reason was, and it was just kind of like the icing on a cake of pure exhaustion that we were already feeling. And it would have been easy for me to just not work out today. I didn't go on my usual walk with him this morning because of last night. My husband did the walk this morning, very short, and I ended up doing an in-home walking workout. I don't think I got as much out of it as I wanted to, but I was also just kind of like, I was thinking about the person that lives below us, and then I was also thinking about the dog and just kind of whatever, but it's like I just needed to do something. Today's one of those days where it'd be so easy for me to just be like, screw it, I'm not gonna work out, I'm not gonna care as much about what I'm eating and whatever, but I'm telling myself that, yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, I'm emotionally kind of just exhausted, but also taking care of myself is going to help take care of everything else. So I did my walking workout. I still need to do my arm workout. I plan on going for a walk tonight, probably by myself without the dog. I plan on going to the bariatric support group tonight. I'm tracking my food. I'm working on drinking water. I was told that I need to drink some stuff with electrolytes because my potassium was a little low after my infusion. They did the labs and that was like the only thing that they had any concerns about. I just have to breathe through it, and choose the next right thing, as hard as it is and as much as I'd rather just go lay down. I just want to go lay down. It's not always easy to move forward when things feel chaotic and stressful and frustrating, but also you don't do yourself any favors. And that's what I keep telling myself. I'm not going to do myself any favors if I eat a bunch of food I shouldn't, or if I don't eat it balanced, because I can't eat a ton of food, but I need to eat things balanced, and I need to drink my water. And if I don't, it's not going to do me any favors. And if I skipped a workout, probably wouldn't be the end of the world, but I wouldn't feel good about myself and I wouldn't keep up with my accountability of like following through, and that would hurt me a lot. So life gets chaotic. You got to pivot sometimes, and this week is a lot of pivoting with schedules and husband's training and appointments and the dog and everything else, but I'm not going to give myself an excuse. So time to pick up the kiddos and then head back home to vlog back in and do some more work. working on being flexible and just going with the flow as much as possible, but also getting everything in. I work soon. I did do a walk, an in-home walk, and I need to do my leg exercises. So let's do that and get that done. It's very simple. I'm not doing anything too complicated because I'm still trying to figure out like how I want to approach the overall workout plan, but I've just been doing arm YouTube videos that have been really good, and then I've just been doing basically squats, deadlifts, and calf raises for the legs until I have a solid plan. But I was like, I have to start with something, so that's what I'm doing. In addition to being flexible with everything that's going on in life, I also need to just start somewhere and figure it out as I go, and not feel like I have to have like the perfect workout plan set up. So let's work on those legs. So the craziest thing happened just a bit ago, and I'm still like feeling adrenaline and excitement about it. So right here is our dumpster, and it's in an enclosure, and there's like these doors that have these little things that poke into the ground to hold it in, but they don't hold it in super well, but whatever. Anyway, it's windy today, and it's slanted right here, and the wind got hold of the dumpster, and it came out of there, and it was starting to roll towards the cars. Thankfully, my car is like over there, wherever. But anyway, so the dumpster was rolling right here, and I saw it. Like I somehow heard it and saw it out my window while I'm working. And I was like, oh no. And there's cars parked. There's only a couple cars parked over there, but I was like, you might miss them, but it was like, I can't let that happen. So I went and put my shoes on, ran down the stairs, and then went and pushed the like dumpster back in the enclosure and closed it. And I'm just thinking about how 50 pounds ago could not have done that. There's no way I could have done that. And like, and that thing is heavy too. Like it was a lot to push, but it was like, there's no one around. It's gonna take a while for somebody to like get here anyway. I was like, I'll just push it, whatever. But just thinking about how I went down the stairs and how fast I went down the stairs is nuts. Like, I texted my mom and a couple of my friends and my cousin, and my cousin responded and she goes, what a win. And I'm like, I know, right? Like, that's like a huge non-scale victory win. Like, you know, the fact that I'm starting to do workouts and I'm losing weight and I'm, you know, eating better and, you know, my body feels better. Like the fact that I was able to push that thing back in there, and the fact that I was able to run on the stairs, like adrenaline, just doing it. And then the adrenaline, the rush, the dopamine of being like, I can't believe I actually just did that. I just did that. So that was crazy. Anyway, I just needed to take a break to just, it's like, it's such a small thing, but it's not a small thing, you know? I don't know. very happy, very excited. I ran downstairs, guys. So we're coming to the end of a very chaotic week. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to kind of reflect on some of the things that were successful this week, some of the things that helped this week. We had extra appointments, we had schedule changes between me and my husband both. We had schedule changes with work. I had extra drop-off and pickups this week. We had appointments this week, and it's been hard to get everything in. And it's been hard to do everything that I want to do. I usually have high expectations and goals for myself in a week, and this was just not one of those weeks. So kind of wanted to just kind of reflect and then just kind of give you, but really myself, advice on how to stay on track with the things that are important during weeks like this. So I think one of the first things to think about when life is like super chaotic is to ask for help, whether that's from your partner, your spouse, your family, your friends. If there's something that you can be like, okay, I'm taking this on, is there a way that you can help me with this one thing? You don't have to make it into a thing of like, they're doing a ton of stuff for you. Just like get assistance with one thing. My big thing this week was I was doing extra drop off and pick up with the kids this week because of changing the schedules. So I asked my husband, can you please take the dog out in the morning? Because that'll help me out for a couple days. It doesn't take a whole lot to just kind of relieve some of the pressure, and that made a huge difference for me. In doing that, giving up the walks with the dog in the morning, it was also taking away some of my workout that I had kind of built into my day. So instead of walking the dog in the morning, I was doing walk at home workouts in the morning after I dropped the kids off. Allowed me to keep up with what I was doing, my goal of walking in the morning and working out in the morning. It was just a little different. So making adjustments to what you're doing, like finding new ways to do the things that you need to do, is super helpful if you can find a way to do that. Another thing to do is just kind of list out your priorities. Like, for me, again, I always want to accomplish so many things. I have a big list of things I want to do. And I always expect way too much of myself, especially in certain seasons. But this week I just really wanted to focus on like what were the more important things. Do I want to do crafts? Yes. Do I want to do some deep cleaning? Yes. Of the closet and the cupboards and all those things. Like there's projects to be done. But this week I really wanted to focus on making sure I was doing my daily workouts because I want to build that habit. Post-surgery, it's super important to do that. Obviously I want to keep up with the basics of home. I wanted to make sure there wasn't piles of dishes in the sink, and I wanted to do my laundry, which usually takes one day, so it's not a big deal. And obviously, sticking with certain appointments, like my IV appointment and my nutrition appointment that I had this week, and then working on my recording goals because I do have some of those too, and then just kind of being okay with not accomplishing anything else. I think you have to choose your priorities and like figure out how to let the rest of it go just for a time. It doesn't have to be forever. I'll get to the closet eventually. But this week wasn't the week for anything extra. This was a week of like maintaining certain areas of life, like the kitchen and the laundry for me. And then also maintaining and starting the consistent working out schedule for myself. So I think it's a matter of priorities, and then just pick your top 3, pick your top 5, whatever it is, and then be okay with letting the rest of it go. And then lastly, and probably most importantly, is giving yourself grace. It's when things are chaotic, it's hard to have everything be in line. I mean, it's just, those two things don't go together. I feel like sometimes you feel like you can wrangle things in, and that just doesn't work. You hope, but it doesn't work. So giving yourself grace during the process and during a season or a week or a month of things that just feel like you're out of your control and messy and complicated and whatever else you can think of. I think it's important to be like, all right, I did this, I did these things, I didn't do this one thing. As much as I wanted to, I'm not going to beat myself up over it, because tomorrow's a new day. I can, start over, start fresh, and it's going to be fine. I'm not very good at giving myself grace. I'm very critical of myself, and that's hard. But I also know that when I give myself grace, it's easier to move on the next day. It's easier to make the next right decision, the next good decision for my health, my mind, my home, my family, whatever. And I think it's an important muscle to learn, important muscle to exercise your ability to give yourself grace. Perfection isn't possible. There are days when you actually get to cross everything off of your list, and that's fun. But that doesn't even mean that everything was perfect. Close, but not perfect. So just want to give you some reminders of like how to get through a tough week, and for me to be able to go back and look at this and be like, all right, this week is crazy. How did I get through this week? Because I'm exhausted. But we got things done, and that's the important thing. We put in a good effort. We didn't give up. We didn't we didn't lose our minds. Came close. Didn't lose our minds. So chaotic weeks are frustrating, but you can survive them. Hi guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I appreciate it so much. I would love to hear from you. Please comment below, like, comment, share, do all the YouTube-y things. Supports the channel, and I really appreciate that. And I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.